No problem.
All right. So we are live. We are live. And if you want to check that it's streaming from the IG, I see it connected on my side. I just gotta, yep, I'm live on Instagram. There we go.
Does it say I'm live? I don't think. I think it says I'm live.
Uh, Let me mute that one. Okay, I could hear myself twice. I was like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. No, we are live. We are connected. I can triple check actually and just make sure you are streaming live, but we should be good to go. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay, if it doesn't pop up, it says you're live. So sometimes
Okay.
it takes a second. All right, yo, I'm so excited to have you. I was like, I don't even know how to start this convo because I've been wanting to talk to you for months and just really get to like ask more of your story. But for everyone joining us live today, welcome back. We are on episode 6 of our Industry Trailblazer Chat Series. Started this monthly conversation series as a way for us to really spotlight and amplify incredible creatives across music, arts, entertainment. Thus far in the series, we've had artist managers, we've had fellow music curators, we have some visual artists coming on later this fall. So really, wanted to give those of us that, I feel like we on the grind, we on the rise up, a platform and a space to really just shine a light on the incredible things that so many creatives are doing. Oftentimes on podcasts and lives, we see a lot of the same people who have earned their stripes and deserve their flowers, but there's so many creatives who are just not known. So this series really is meant to just amplify other trailblazers who are just making an impact and doing things their own way. So if you are joining for housekeeping, if you're joining us live on Instagram, please be sure if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section, not the Q&A box. I'm on desktop, so I can't pull the Q&A box up specifically. If you're joining us on LinkedIn or YouTube, leave them in the comment sections on those platforms. I can pull them in the StreamYard, put them on the screen, which is super fun. So if you have any questions for Elijah or myself, definitely use those comments so we can make sure that we get them answered either throughout our conversation together today or towards the end. We have a little bit of time today reserved for a Q&A. So really, really excited to chat with you. I see some people already hopping in over on IG. What is up, y'all? What is up, y'all? I'm multitasking, so I'm going to be back and forth looking at Instagram, but shout out to all of our insiders community joining us live. Y'all the real ones. A little bit about myself. I always feel like I got to do my little elevator pitch at the top of each of these. My name is Jazz Jackson. I am the founder and CEO of Unearthly Studios. We are a creative marketing agency focusing really on working with artists, creatives, and innovative brands on all things organic, social, experiential events, creative strategy. That's usually my bread and butter. We also do work with a small invite only roster of artists for management and development. So I am an artist manager in A&R myself. And it's been so much fun to really like be in the industry and really be able to work with artists building from the ground up and then also being able to help them amplify both their creative and their brand. So that's a little bit about myself and agency Unearthly Studios. But
Belong to you.
yes, I'm so excited to introduce our featured trailblazer for the month of August. His name is Eli. I'm so excited to have you. You
What's up,
already know that.
everyone?
He is the founder of one of my favorite music platforms I've seen on the come up for sure this year. Diabolical Disc, and I'm just obsessed. You know me, I'm always liking all of your stuff. Just I love how you intersect
Appreciate it.
music, the visual media, animation, which is beyond me because I can barely draw. So I just think it's so cool that you are a multifaceted creative yourself. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to Eli just to do a brief introduction. I have a lot of questions for him, so we're gonna roll through a bunch together. But if you have any questions, feedback, conversation you want to add, be sure to drop them in the comments. But go ahead, Eli. I'll pass the mic to you to do some quick introductions.
What's up, everyone? I know I've never shown my face on this platform before, but this is me. I'm Eli. I'm just a hardworking individual who loves animation and music, essentially.
Awesome. Yo, well, I have a lot of questions. We're going to get right into it because it is getting later on the East Coast.
Mhm.
Um, so we are going to get right into it. I know people are still filtering in. Welcome, welcome. We see y'all. If you have to hop off, can't stay the whole time, just know the full replay of this episode will be available on our YouTube channel right after. So there's going to be no delay for y'all to be able to go back and check it out. All right. So, kind of my first question, I always got to start setting the stage for today's conversation is, where are you from? I was like, is that on my side or your side? Hold on a second.
What the dingings?
Yeah.
That is me. Yeah.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
So
I'm making sure because I try to mute everything, and some days I'm just like, Jazz, you didn't
yeah,
turn off
I
no
don't really know how
notifications.
to mute that. That's crazy.
Don't worry about it. I was making sure it's not on
Mhm.
my side because I'm notorious for leaving Slack or something up, and it's just a
Mhm.
thing. But first questions always set in the stage for our conversation, which is a little bit of background so the folks can get to know you a little bit better. So always starting like where you're from. I know that you do some other things outside of building your platform. So really just kind of starting there. Where are you from? Currently based? And what do you do? What else are you involved in outside of building this incredible platform that you're bringing to life?
I'm from NYC, so yes, New York. Gotta represent. And other than that, right now, besides building this platform, I'm just doing my regular job, my 9 to 5s, and just just listening to music. And I also manage an artist. His name is Sultai. So yeah, putting in a lot of work in that as well. So
Look at fellow artist manager in the house. See, look how multifaceted we are. I feel like many artist managers do more than one or two, three things. So that's
yeah,
so cool. I know,
juggling a lot.
right? And I know artist management comes with a whole other set of like moving pieces, multiple hats you wear in that role and
Mhm.
in that position. So I might circle back on your experience with artist management too, just because I'm always curious to hear from other artist managers who are, really work like in the trenches with their artists, with their team, and just trying to make shit happen, to say the least. So I
Yeah,
love connecting with other artist managers. I feel, especially like being in community, we all deal with the same things, just at different times. So super, super
yeah.
cool. Welcome y'all. I see y'all hopping in here. I see Elise in here. I see Sam. I see
I
my
can't see that.
people.
I
I
can't
yeah,
see
I'm.
the chat.
I was like, yeah, I'm on my side on my Instagram. And yeah, if you're in your browser and you see your
Mhm.
live, you should see some people that are filtered in there too.
Okay, okay, I see it.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna have to like, yeah. So you can say hi to them. Because I can't see yo people, but I was like, look, we all here together. It's a great time. So yeah, we are streaming live via multiple platforms, y'all. So it's fun. I was like, what is that noise? But it's my uncle's motorcycle. All right. So moving on with my next question before I get sidetracked. Would love before we get into the platform itself, I would just love to know a little bit more of like what are some of your hobbies, passions outside of music?
Mhm,
What do you like to do for fun? I know music's probably your entire life, but are there any other interests you have outside of music, especially being in the city, New York? I know there's a lot of things to do. What else? What other
mhm.
passions and hobbies do you have outside of music?
Well, right now, my biggest passion outside of music is animation. I mean, I'm putting in the work. I'm still very new to it. I've been like doing it for about a year now or so. So I'm really using the account to also kind of help me learn and like, help evolve my skills. But other than that, really, I really just like going to concerts. What's it? Just like, yeah, that's that's really it. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
a music guy. And, you know, like I hang out with my friends, obviously, you know, like just normal stuff.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned animation and you said
Mhm.
that about a year in. And I know I was going through your account. It seems like you started it towards like the top of this year. So
Mhm.
I was like, for a year in, you're freaking badass. Like I said, everything I've seen you create, I'm like, how do you how do you do this? So one, you're incredible, even just being a year in, and like I
Mhm.
said, we're so gifted and talented. What first led you to wanting to learn about animation? Was there something specific, anything you saw? Are there any animators like, ooh, you were a fan of already that you've seen their work that sparked that?
There's this animator named Vune on YouTube that I love so much, and like she kind of like very much influenced me to want to do it. And I just like I just like had so many ideas that I really just wanted to create. And I don't have any money to pay any animators to do anything, so I just wanted to learn myself. And I pretty much like just started by doing like random little animations. I made this animation called Alien Cat, and that just kind of like I mean that took me like 3 months. My first 3 months of like animation was literally just making that stupid little animation called Alien Cat, but it's crazy.
Alien Cat. I was like, now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Um, and I know I got so many questions about the platform itself, but I'm like, now I'm just like, want to know what was kind of the process to create your actual like like I don't know, I don't want to call him a mascot, but like what was the process to like lead you to the current like mascot that you have for the brand? Was that like you were always set on that one design? Were there some others that were in the works that you're like, not this one, let's try another one?
No, really, that was like the first design I did, and I just kind of like went with it. I was just like, oh, whatever like character I make right now, that's gonna be the mascot, and that's what I made. I was trying to make a bear, and that's what I got.
I was gonna ask what he was inspired by. I feel like
Yeah.
he's this, but he could be that. And I don't like to assume, but nah, I mean I like him. I was like, keep him. Now I feel like you're not stuck, but now we know you for that one. And just the designs you've been able to create are like so freaking cool. So
Thank you,
oh,
thank you.
yeah. So that's really cool how you got into animation. And then for music, I know for many of us that are working, especially A&Rs, artist managers, our passion and love for music started way before we got started. So wanted to ask, like, where did the passion and love for music first start for you? Was it like going to your first concert experience? Like for me, for example, I grew up with music in my house. Like my granddad played the drums. My grandma was a church pianist. We all like sang. I'm
Wow.
not a singer, y'all. Please don't ask. But it was always in my house. I was surrounded by music, and just so I always loved it. So what was that spark for you?
Well, like I mean, I always grew up listening to music, of course, as everyone else does. But I'd never really had like a big musical background. My parents aren't musicians. Like I don't have any siblings that are, no family members that are musicians. But I just kind of like always like listen to just different stuff. My family was listening to rap. We were listening to like Stevie Wonder and like like all the old heads. And just slowly by slowly, it just kind of like formed into me just showing my friends like songs, and like I was just like into like different artists that they weren't necessarily into. So I was just always putting people onto stuff.
Hey, that sounds like me. That sounds like me. I always say before I was an A&R, I really was an A&R. I'm like going back into even my playlists I would curate, and I
Hmm.
haven't shared many publicly this year, but I was like, dang, I was curating playlists since I don't know, Spotify first started. I'm like, I have hundreds of playlists, and I'm like, oh, I've been discovering artists like, you know, so
Mhm.
it's been a passion long before I really made it my entire life, like, as you know,
Yeah.
so it's a fun time and it's a fun space to be in, but I'm always very curious of like where that first spark was, what led you to wanting to, you know, pursue a path in music, and yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, of course. I was always
Yeah,
making, like, different playlists for my friends as well, like, I've made, like, a cool couple mixes on Spotify for people.
see, see, you a real one, and all the curation and that I see even on the Diabolical Disc page, I'm like, you really tapped in. You're tapped in as much as I am. And then you still be putting me on to new people. I was like, see, because now I feel like my pulse is gone away since I'm not like as deep like looking and discovering folks these days. But shout out to your platform because you keep me you keep me going. I was like,
Thank
ooh,
you.
okay, let me check them out. And speaking of Diabolical Disc, we are gonna
Mhm.
actually chat more about the incredible platform that you are bringing to life. So y'all, if you don't know, like Diabolical Disc is freaking incredible. Eli really
Thank you, thank you.
seamlessly, like you very seamlessly intersect the music curation plus animation. You know, I call it like mixed media, multiple different forms of media, and it's just so cool and so unique and not something that I'm seeing a lot of other people doing. So at least that I'm seeing. I don't know about you. I'm sure you've taken a look, but I was like, you're doing something that's very uniquely tailored to you, your gifts and your passions, and I feel like the folks like really resonate with that. So I know the platform has been, I've seen the growth on it over the last like 6 or 7 months that I've been following you. And yo, I am just blown away. So yo, I'm just actually gonna share my screen if it'll let me. So I can just scroll up and show the people a little bit of your feed. Cause yeah, you're doing things. So the folks are gonna give me a second. Where we at it? Y'all gotta see. So I just want to like scroll and show y'all just some of the Instagram account, and I can't wait to talk a little bit more about these collaborations you've been doing. But just so cool. Hold on, let me click into one. Just and you mix anime in here, so I didn't even get to that part yet. Um, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So yeah, just so cool. So just the way you have your animations, obviously, music, the different forms of media. And yeah, that's one of my favorite animes. So you know I'm a fan. So I just wanted to show y'all just a little bit of the platform that is being built. And yo, you're doing great things. Like yeah, I feel like I need to go back through some of these posts because, like, yo, and the way you just consistently serve, I'm just like, I know once you make the animation, it's probably easier to like reuse some of these things, but I'm like, you're so
Yeah,
cool because there's so many different originals in all of these. So just shout out to you. Shout out to you.
I'm I'm pumping them out, man. They're
Yeah.
pretty intense. I'm pretty intense sometimes, but I'm making it
No,
work.
yeah, they're so awesome. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of people joining in. Yep.
What's up,
If you have any,
everyone?
yeah, what is up, y'all? Thank you so much for joining us. As mentioned, if you have any questions and you're live on Instagram, please put them in the comment box so we can see them on our Instagrams. And then if you are on YouTube, LinkedIn, what is up? I see a couple of YouTube comments. Okay. So yeah, just leave your comments, any questions, feedback, thoughts, and we'll be able to see it. So just wanted to show the people the platform, a few of your posts, and kind of diving in deeper. What really inspired you to launch Diabolical Disc?
Well, it was like just my birthday, and I was just like, I don't like have like anything I'm really, really like proud of. Like, I was in school, like I was just like doing school, and that was it. Like, it was just like I just wanted to do something else, like something that was like, be creative, and
Yeah,
help, it's that like part of me that I just needed to do something, so I just kind of like I honestly just like, took what I learned from doing the little alien cat animation thing that I did like a couple months ago before, and just kind of like threw that together with my music taste, and just like really wanted to like I just really wanted to just keep going and be consistent with something, you know?
Yeah. No, I love it. And I was like, I don't remember when I first found the platform, but I'm one of those people that I try to keep a pulse on, oh, who are the rising curators coming up, like the newer media pages. I just truly believe like there's so many talented creatives and curators out there with smaller accounts, but like I've seen people like 1 year later, they could be tens of thousands of followers. So I'm always like really trying to support who's coming up and who's fresh on the scene. So I know I caught you pretty early within the journey here, and I can't believe it's like what less than a year, and just being able to see what you've brought to life is I'm like I said, I'm blown away. And
I
yeah,
can't
like
even
just
believe it, honestly. Like, it's
I was
kind
like,
of
you got fans over here, okay?
but I just, I'm just showing my music taste, you know? It's actually just kinda
Yeah.
wild. It's kinda wild, like, some of the people I've met just, like, off of this account, just a little, like, doodle I made in my room, you know?
That's the when you share your gifts, I'm telling you, your people find you. Your people find you for sure, for sure. So we talked a little bit about how you got inspired to launch the platform. Um, I really want to know next is I know we mentioned you bridge this gap between the different forms of visual media and music. So what is your creative process for as you're curating like Diabolical Weekly and the custom animations for future posts? I know you pull in some anime stuff in there as well to really create this mixed media experience. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your creative process of how, like, you curate these, how you build out each post?
So yeah, pretty much like I'm always just trying to find like new artists. I'm always just like listening to the newest thing. I got my Discover Weekly. I'm on all the Instagram curation pages. What's it just trying to find some new artists. So like that just kind of helps me with my posts, like just finding new artists, like whenever I find someone, like I throw them in like a personal playlist of mine, and just like, oh, I could potentially use this guy for a post, or this person. And then like when it comes around to like the animation portion, like it's kind of it's really just like me just like thinking about, like a little like setting I could do with like the characters, um like I do a lot of like, but I do a lot of like different posts. I do the Diabolical Weekly, which is just like a roundup of like tracks that drop this week. I'm always just trying to listen to the artists that like, just dropped that week and stuff. I'm scrolling through my Instagram, seeing who dropped and stuff. It's a little hard because Instagram, the algorithm is all over the place nowadays, so they're showing me all types of stuff. But yeah, and sometimes the animations could take so long because it's just me like trying to like, I'm always getting creative blocks. It's just like really sometimes really hard, but I somehow make it work. I think of something put together, I make a little background with in Photoshop. I use Premiere Pro. I do Adobe After Effects, and then just throw it in my computer, edit it all together, and make
Yeah.
something happen out of it. But
Yeah, well, nah, you're a true creative and you got more patience for me because you said After Effects. And I was like, nope, no, thank you. Try
and
to
my
learn that
computer.
one.
Yeah, no, oh my gosh, it takes so long. But um
Yeah, I had to learn so because I went to school for film production, so I love
mhm.
film. I love editing, but I know how tedious and a full time job editing is in itself. That I said no to going all in on that. But still, I've had to learn a lot of these tools or use them in different ways. And yeah, After Effects is like one of those ones where I'm like, please no, let's not do this again. There's such a high learning curve
Oh
to
man.
that one. But
Yeah.
yeah,
On
no, that's
on
so
top of that,
cool.
I just have like a really bad, like my computer just always crashes on me. So it's just it's really tough out here, I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, you getting them out, you getting them out,
I'm
and
still
don't
getting them
worry,
out though, regardless.
you're gonna be blessed with a brand new computer soon enough. Don't
Soon
worry.
enough, soon enough.
Yeah, I know that it's a process getting these posts together, and I think it might have been my next question was, yeah, about the cool collaborations you've had recently. I know I've seen a few that have gone to life over the last few months, including with Gabe P and On the Radar. You did one with Squid Life, Big Ass Kids, love them. So really wanted,
Real shout out
I know,
them.
and I know you created these custom animations for those ones. So
Yeah.
were those some of the ones that took a while, especially when you're animating people or someone else's likeness? Or yeah, I also want to know how those collaborations came about.
Oh, of course. So I guess I'll start off with the Pigeons and Planes one, which is like the first one I really even did. That was the first collab I ever did. Like first collab. Like good for
Yes.
me. Yeah, that shit is crazy. But shout out Pigeons and Planes. I posted their "See You Next Year" 2 album one time, and Jacob Moore, Pigeons and Planes, just like hit me up, and he was just like super down to talk, and like he was giving me a lot of advice. And I pretty much just asked him if he wanted to do a collab, and I pitched it to him, and it was a little all over the place, you know, like I was just kind of like fumbling my words, and like, you know, it was a little hard to explain that I wanted to make like a little animated character for Pigeons and Planes. Like that was just like it was, it was like, oh, so like you want it to be like a media character. I was just like, no, I'll just make like a pigeon in like streetwear or something like that. And what's it? And now ever since like the that Pigeons and Planes collab, like every people have been down to like do the animated character for your brand thing. You know, like it's a pretty cool little thing. And yeah, then I had the On the Radar collab like recently, like within like the last like 2 weeks. And shout out to On the Radar. You know, like I love that platform so much. So it was really cool. I met Gabe P at a networking event that I went to. He had already been like following the account for a little bit, so
Awesome.
I just kind of just like wanted to like go up to him and just like say hi and stuff, introduce myself. So I just introduced myself. He said he knew the account already, and like I just pretty much I got a little like hype. I'm not gonna lie, I fangirled a little bit, you know. Like I was like, oh my god, no way! Like Gay P knows Diabolical this. But what's it? Then I just pretty much asked him again for the collab, and he was super down. Made him like a little like robot kind of guy,
I
and
saw that.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, that's just kind of how it happened. But yeah, now I just like try and do as many collabs as I can with like all these other accounts that I'm just such a fan of. I just did a collab with the Music Plug, which is like one of my favorite accounts on one of my favorite curators. You know, she really always puts me on to like a lot of different artists, so that's really cool. So super.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wasn't familiar with the music plug until that I saw that collaboration. And you know me, more women in music. So I was like, oh, I gotta
Real.
go follow, support. Immediately did that. So you're also, like I said, I'm finding more people through you and following your platform. And I feel like collaboration really is, it's so key, and it's so much fun, but also too, just to be able to collaborate with people that are very like-minded. I always say is it's so rewarding, and just you
Hell
never
yeah.
know the future opportunities that can just come from saying yes, or just by, hey, I'm just going to shoot
Mhm.
my shot. I'm the queen of shooting my shot. I be telling people, I was like, I will be in the DMs asking real quick for anything I want, because I was like, okay, well, they can just not respond or say no. So I'm just going to ask. And
Yeah.
usually most people say yes. So I'm saying, y'all, yeah, and putting your
Worst
selling
thing
your
you
piece
could get is a no, for real.
truly. And like, yeah, once you're good with no's, like I did a lot of sales marketing. I was like, I can handle a no all day. So no, shoot your shot. Like that's a gem already. Especially for creatives, I feel so many of us are like in these bubbles are like, oh well, they're not gonna. Why would they want to? Or I was like, look, you just never know, and closed mouths don't get fed. So
For real,
definitely shoot your
wow,
shot.
it's an amazing saying right there.
Yeah, shout out to my grandpa, R.I.P. Because he would say that to me all the time. Because I feel like I'm very introverted, but as a kid, I would
Mhm.
just not want to go up to anyone, say anything. I was like, he's just like, well, closed mouths don't get fed, and I'm like, now that's all I think about when I'm like, ooh, should I ask? Should I not? I'm like, closed mouths don't get fed. I'm just gonna ask.
I'm about to start saying that to myself as well, for real.
Yeah,
Me
nah.
too.
Yeah, I love these collabs that you've been bringing to life. I'm sure you have many more in the works that we're gonna get to see in the future. So, y'all, if you haven't followed Diabolical Disc yet, be sure to go ahead and do that. ASAP. While you're here joining us live. But yeah, no, that's so cool.
Mhm.
I love the collaborations that I've seen thus far. I feel like, yo, keep doing what you're doing there. Only great only great things are in store by just continuing to keep those up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
More collabs in the work. We're about to do some crazy I'm about to do some crazy stuff with the platform, so I'm super
Oh my
excited.
goodness. Well, you know me. I'm gonna be all the way tapped in to what's coming next. And it sounds like I know you're mentioning about meeting Gabe at a networking event and something I just wanted to like, especially as an artist manager relationship. We know artists, creatives, if you're an entrepreneur, like I call us creative entrepreneurs, like networking and really getting yourself out there is so important for what we do, especially artist managers. Shout out us. It's
Course,
all
course.
relationships. I feel like all I'm doing is talking to people all day, emails and DMs, and just really having conversations. So, in New York City, especially, it sounds like I know you just recently went to the On the Radar, I guess, Cypher thing that they did, the show, saw
Yeah,
Geo. So it
um,
sounds like you're getting in the rooms and you're out there in the city and you're going to shows. So you're really
mhm.
on the ground, which I'm sure only helps you discover more incredible music. So
Hell yeah. I mean, I really just like, going out and like meeting the people I really listen to, like shout out to Iman Nunez. He actually he invited me to the show. And he really put on such a great show. Like that was actually like so killer. Like he had Styles P come out. He had everybody he had everybody from his Phases cipher come perform. So Fergie Baby, Life of Tom, Tony E, Nico Brim, like all those people. And I got to see my son Geo Genesis beforehand as well, Shout out Geo Genesis. He did a great job. I loved his newest EP. He really did his thing on stage.
oh, no, that Geo Genesis love, like people know, even before I got to work with Geo as a client, I'm a fan first and always of the music. Even for my clients and the artists that I manage, I was a fan of them before that relationship even happened. So
Mhm.
just, being a fan of the music is it's so important, obviously, for what we do. And yeah, I was like, like I said, I need to get to New York to be able to catch some of these shows in the future
Yes.
because it's been a minute. We're not
For
gonna talk about the last concert I went to because it's been way too long. Jazz, what you mean you work in the music business? Blah blah. Look, I was
You
like,
gotta
I'm in the
start going,
mountains.
man.
I know. I was like, I need to leave the mountains, so I'm gonna be on the road again soon. Yeah. No, I've loved learning about just your experience launching Diabolical Disc, how you got started with animation, your background in even music curation, artist management. Yo, you sound like me. Other minus the animation, I was like, we sound like we're so similar. And like what we love. So I knew when I saw your platform, I was like, I gotta have you on here. So I'm so glad that I asked you.
I
Even me,
appreciate
I
you
was
having me
like,
on.
should I ask? I'm gonna ask. But no, this has been such a great conversation thus far. I have just a couple of questions, and then if anyone has a question for Eli or myself, feel free to put them in the comment section. I know on my side on Instagram, you're getting a lot of love from the people. So cool what you're doing. There's people that want to collaborate with you, so I'm gonna have to send you these handles after. Yeah, no, I had a couple more questions for you before, I let you go. But I know you have such a great pulse on the underground, who's rising up. So I gotta ask, who are some off the top of your head? This might be putting you on the spot, but who are some of your favorite artists that you can't stop listening to that the world needs to hear next? Could you put the folks on to a few people that have been in your rotation?
I'm gonna have to name like mad names because like there's like a good couple of there's a good couple people.
You can have a list.
What's it? I'm gonna say my son Life of Tom. Like I really love what he's doing with his music. Coco Tasso is his last album, really cool. What's that? I want to say your friend Sean or my friend Sean, I think is his stage name. He what he's doing is really dope. Like I mean, like his last album was real good. I love Kasai. Um, I cannot stop listening to Kasai. Like that's probably the guy I listen to. What's it the most like in the
And how do you
underground
spell
right
his
now.
name? How do you spell his
Uh,
name?
Kuhsigh.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and Romera. He's like I think he's real cool. Like I think like he's like almost like he does what Tyler the Creator used to do, like with like Cherry Bomb. Like he has like a style like inspired like by that. His this whole aesthetic is inspired by like that, and it's just like it comes out so dope. Like he just has his own thing going on. Like he's very different. And what's it? Trying to think. Oh, Samira Truth. Samira Truth is so good. Like she's a DJ and she raps and she's always doing boiler room sets. Like she's just so
Oh,
good.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Off the top of my head, those are the names. There's so many more I
I,
can think of, but like like it's just a little hard to like like bring them all together.
yeah, I knew I was gonna put you on the spot with that one, especially since I know you're listening to music and finding new artists probably every single day, much like
Hmm.
myself. So every time people, I was like, I gotta literally put my phone like, who have I been listening to? Because my brain is just like, yo. And you put me on the people I don't even know, so I'm gonna go back and like pull all these names and check them out myself. So I know you have such a cool pulse, and y'all check out Diabolical Weekly. The roundups are phenomenal. Like I said, just you're finding
Yeah.
some gems that I haven't even seen. So okay, so I got one more question before I leave any space if there are any questions from the audience. So I got two more questions. But this one I always like to ask, especially since I know as a creative and you're doing artist management, you're building your own platform, which is much like a business. Like even if it's a hobby, like the consistency and the hours you put in, it's like you're building something that entirely can moves and operates like a business. So what is like one challenge or obstacle that you faced or you've had to navigate kind of are overcome in building the platform thus far? Are there any challenges that you've like found or encountered yourself? Are like, oh well, no, this part of it's hard, or is there anything that's like, no, this is an obstacle that I've had to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many challenges I face like every day just like running this page. I mean, like I work in New Jersey and like I'm all over the place, like going back and forth from places. There are times I take my computer in the car just to like make posts and like, like it's just kind of just be that kind of consistency, like it's just like really hard to do and it's such like a big like like a big thing you kind of have to get over, like you just kind of have to like no matter how shitty it is to do or like how what's it how much you don't want to do it, you just kind of have to like keep committing to it, that's
One
probably my
thousand.
biggest challenge right now.
Yeah. Whew. I could resonate with that one.
Hmm.
I was like, I tell people the entrepreneurship journey. There's a reason why, like, whether you're creative building, a music platform, if you're a content creator, who wants to like get in their brand partnership bag, just the level of like the vision you have to have and the tenacity to continue despite what today might look and feel like or what your present circumstances are. It's so huge. Or like when the post not performing on Instagram,
Oh,
these
yeah.
algorithms.
Oh, that's a big punch in the face. Like when, like, I mean, like it really shouldn't be because it's not. It shouldn't be about the likes and stuff. But like, of course, when you like, you feel like you put a lot of work into something, and you think you got like the best post out, and then boom, you get hit with like nothing.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it
And
definitely sucks. Not
I was
gonna lie.
like, I live and breathe social. Like this is my whole job and my whole day. And I
Mhm.
hear about the algorithm and just the how challenging it is to break through the noise. It's so true. It's such a fact. And my heart goes out to so many artists and creatives because I know how much time, how many hours, months, years like that are going into these projects, these works of art. So it's just another testament of like keep going, and I promise like people are seeing you, and at least now with social, the great thing is like things are so evergreen. So even though you may feel like in that moment it's not doing what it needs to do, like I always say like this is just it's a portfolio. It's like there's people
Oh
that are
yeah.
gonna find out about you
Hmm.
6 months from now, a year from now, and like be able to like go back and see things. I've seen things go viral months later, or pick up that traction. So it can be very challenging as a creative, especially when it's like we spend a lot of time on these platforms and tools. So I
Of
definitely
course.
resonate with the journey of building something from nothing. Like it's why I say like my unearthly studios, like it's an adjective as for superhuman, because artists, creatives, if you're building a brand from nothing, that's freaking magic, and it's not easy. There's nothing ordinary about it. So yeah, nah, I truly resonate with some of those challenges myself. So all right, I see a
It is tough.
question that came in on my Instagram. Okay, I know we got at least one question that had come in. A final question before we close this out. Wanted to kind of, I know you mentioned some great things are coming for the platform rest of the year and in the future. Is there anything that you can share with us that you're working on or that we might be able to look forward to? And if it's a top secret, no worries. But what can the people kind of look forward to from the platform next?
Well, just like the whole expansion of it, I feel like is just like what I'm really working on, just trying to get it on other platforms like YouTube and TikTok. I'm trying to get a website going up, and I'm also like trying to like expand into like interviews and doing more content with the artist personally.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I can
Yeah,
see that for you. Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
get my editing game back up too. So.
See, yeah, you are destined to be like a force of nature. I already know it, and I'm so excited to see some of these interviews come to life. I know you're out and about at shows and already tapped into the community, and you're in such a great place to catch so many artists, whether they're local or just passing through. So very excited to see what comes to life the rest of the year. We did have a question, and it's little, let's see, where did it go? Maybe both of us can take this question if you have any ideas for this one. Um, so someone had asked, and I think because we're artist managers, maybe this is why this one's coming in. There is an art, it's on my IG side, but he's an artist
Mhm.
that has been contacted by a label, and he's wondering what are some questions I should ask them about distribution and or artist development deals. And I'm not too sure if you want to answer that. I mean, there's different questions to ask, but I'm not too
Yeah.
sure if from your experience working with your artists, if that's something y'all have gotten to that stage just yet of having any conversations. I have a couple thoughts, but
Well, what I will say is, I'm very much starting with my artist. Like we just started like working together, so I'm still learning too. Maybe I'm not the best person to answer that question.
No, that's
But I'd
okay.
love to hear what you say, because like shit, I'll take a notebook and write something down right now.
Yeah, so I've been, like I said, like I'm very much still myself building with artists, much on the development side. Have had a few conversations for potential distribution deals. Um, I would say one,
Mhm.
take the meetings, take all the meetings, ask
Of course,
all the
yeah.
questions that you need to know, and know everything's in the negotiation. Because some of these distribution companies, like some of them have different tiers of artists where they give different artists different support based on different metrics, different stats you need to already be hitting. Ownership is everything. So if there is a contract that's presented to you, just know that's a starting off point. And I feel like the biggest thing for any artist that is going into a room, especially if you don't have a manager, my biggest gem is to make sure you have a reputable entertainment attorney that you trust to look at this contract. Even if you have to spend a few $100s to have them review it, like please do. Don't sign anything if you're unsure of anything. And I promise you, every single contract that you're gonna, because I used to do contracts for talent, so this is just from experience. Any contract that you get is gonna be in the best interest of the label, the distribution company, and not in the best interest of the artist. So as a manager, that's like one thing to always know is that that contract is not scoped to truly benefit the artist. It's meant to benefit the label or the distro company. So I feel like that's one of the big things. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is asking a lot of questions and reading through everything, especially when it comes to ownership rights. If it's an artist development deal and, if they're paying for studio time, like if they're owning your masters, these are all things y'all got to think about. So distribution deals, are a little bit different, but there's still terms for everything. So please read the contract. Don't be quick to sign something. I don't care if they give you a deadline. There is no rush. And you can take your time. So, like I said, I'm still getting my feet wet, but coming from contracting celebrities and talent for a number of years, I just know how contracts work. So, y'all, please be careful because once you sign something, it is legally binding, and it's so much harder for your entertainment attorney to go back and fix something versus just asking them the questions the first time around. So yeah, I think that question came in from Clyde. Yeah, okay, he said 100. Okay.
That was honestly
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's all I have for that. I can't say I'm an expert in that. That's not my realm. Look, if y'all need a couple of recommendations for reputable entertainment attorneys, I can send them your way. Please send me a DM, but please do your due diligence before you sign anything. And also, just make sure there's a lot of scams out here. So just make sure you are talking to real people, real conversations. So yeah, that's another thing because we know there's a lot of that stuff happening. But yeah, nah, if anyone else has any other questions, please let us know. I haven't seen any. Let me see if I missed anything. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on my side. If you want to check on your end to see if anything pulled in on your IG, but yeah,
Not seeing nothing.
I have my final question for you before I
Oh,
let you
I
go.
got I got one thing of like, what's the criteria to get some support, and how do you want artists to reciprocate the support? Okay. What's it? Pretty much, literally, like to get on the platform, the only thing you gotta do is just make a great song that I like. I don't like do promotions.
Yeah.
This is all just like my taste. Like what's it? And I'm just sharing the music I love. So that's how you do
I
it.
love that. I love that. And then too, because I had a question about submissions myself. Speaking of, is the best way to submit to you via DM
Oh
or do you
yes,
have a
yeah.
DM right
So
now?
for right now, yeah, for right now, I'm,
Okay.
I'm working on a website and stuff that people will be able to submit songs to. But currently, yeah, just my DMs. Hit me up.
Perfect. So y'all
Mhm.
heard it first. Y'all heard it
Mhm.
here. Please send Eli great music.
Send me some good tracks, okay?
I was like, look here, y'all. Send the best of the best if you're gonna be doing that. No, I don't see any other questions coming in from my side. So my final question for you before I let you go and close this out, I always end with this one. What are, like a couple gems, actionable advice or gems you would give to rising artists and creatives? And I know you work with an artist yourself, so I'm sure you got some gems of advice for
Mhm.
artists or aspiring music curators. But what are a couple of things you've learned along your journey thus far that you want to share with the people?
Well, I mean, I think what artists should really be doing is, focusing more on like world building in their music. When I hear a song, I want to be like transported somewhere. Like when I hear like a really great song, it transports me to a different place. And I really like respect that when it comes to music. I mean, like for instance, like okay, like Travis Scott, his whole Astroworld thing, like that's like what I want from more artists. Like I want people to like really build the whole world behind their albums. And I feel like if more people did that, they would probably have way more of a following and way more, like streams to their music and more people coming back.
Yeah, no, that's such a big gem. I know on the creative side, as I'm working on crafting incredible rollouts with my artists and clients, I use that phrase world building a lot, and it goes back to building brand too. So, I'm a brand strategist my whole life, but really, like you mentioned, being able to bring your fans into an entire experience is unparalleled, and I feel like a lot of that magic is being lost, especially in the hustle and bustle of the tick, the rise of TikTok and the rise of short
Mhm.
form. While I love the visualizers and stuff that people are doing, even if, and like I would say, high quality does not mean high budget. I've seen people coming from the filmmaker side. I had to do like 48-hour film challenges with $0. You couldn't spend no money, but you had to, like, we had 48 hours and we had to create this whole short film with $0. And like when you are sometimes working with limited resources really is where you have to get the most creative. So I always tell artists, like, you don't need to have a big budget to really build and craft an experience around what you're doing. Of course, we know there's an investment to everything these days, but man, I've seen some dope shit on like people for like on their iPhones. Like, so you can do so many cool things, but world building is such a big thing. And I feel like just giving your fans different unique touch points along your journey, like it's so crucial and so key, which is why like I'm obsessed with like Geo, because there's more coming for this EP and the visuals on the way, but it's really like this world that's been built, and it's so unique, and I feel like it's only lending to new, like, fans old and new coming in, because like, oh, you got this world and you got this one and this persona, and like when you really craft a story, I was like, there's a reason like why we love our favorite brands and why we love our favorite movies, y'all. So yeah, even when I tell people about like Nike, like, we don't, a lot of people don't support Nike because they have the best clothing or best shoes. They don't. Like, they don't. It's about the stories that they tell that inspires us to do more, that we can dream bigger, that, we can do the impossible, So yeah, world building, storytelling, so cute. Like, so huge, so huge. So
Very
yeah.
much.
I was like, do you have any other gems you want to share?
What's it? Hmm. Just try not. Don't always just try and go for like the song that's gonna be like the big one. Just make music for fun. Like I feel like everybody nowadays is just really making music to make big money, and it really shouldn't even be about that. You should really have a passion for it. You should really want to do it. It's a super hard industry to get into. So you just have to really have that big passion for it. Don't just try and make the biggest money or like be the richest person because you're making music. Just make it for you. That's what I really have.
Yes. 1000%, yo. Yeah, that it's a fact. It's a fact. I'm always talking to artists, and a lot of them feel like they have to, oh, I gotta do it like this because this worked for somebody else. And I'm like, no, please don't do it just because it works for somebody else. I promise you. And I think too, another thing to like point out, like all of us, we are so unique. There's something within us that no one else has. You just really got to find what makes you unique and set you apart. And yeah, create the music you love. And sometimes that means genre bending or completely going into a different genre. I've seen artists, even some of artists that I work with who like really they were heavy this and then like, hey, I'm trying to experiment and I'm liking this new lane. I say go for it. You can create your own box, but don't box yourself in at the same time. So yes, well, no, I'm so happy we got to have this conversation today. So I'm gonna let you go, but before we do, can you, tell the people where they can reach you at, and any other last minute things you want to share before we hop off?
Well, I'll just say like you can reach me at my Diabolical disc thing right here. What's it? Just send me a DM if you have some music. Just send me in the DMs. I'll listen to it. I'm always listening to what everyone sends. So, yeah, pretty much it.
Yes. Well, no, this has been such a great episode. Eli, thank you so much for being our featured trailblazer for the month of August. If you've caught us live or if you're catching the replay, super appreciate you. If you came in late, the full replay will be available on the Unearthly Studios YouTube right after I end the stream. So give it a few minutes, but it will be up there. And we're going to be sprinkling some of these gems from today's conversation on our IG and on our socials over the next few weeks, few months. So Eli, they're going to be able to see more of you post conversation. But this has been so much fun. So grateful for everyone who tuned in live, asked questions, got some really great feedback on my side. Someone said big fan of Diabolical's work. So the people see you.
Oh,
The
thank
people
you.
see
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, and we're so excited to, see more of the magic brewing behind the scenes. Because, like I said, I know the rest of this year, and then like wait until we see what you do in 2025. I'm just like, you're
Yeah.
just getting started. You're just
We're
getting
just
started.
getting
So
started. We're just getting started. Count is less than a year old, so
I know. That's why I'm just like, dang, you've done so much. And I'm just like, yo, this is what it's about. This is why this series exists, really to find the trailblazers who, hey, we're just getting started in our journey, but you're already making an incredible impact. I know it's felt. I always put people on to you, probably every other day. Like, go check them out. Okay, yeah, go follow. Yeah, go do
I
that.
appreciate that. I
So
appreciate that so much.
the love is real on our side. But with that, y'all, we are signing out for episode 6, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.